My name is Alondra Bobadilla. I'm Boston's first ever Youth Poet Laureate, and I am super excited to be sharing this prompt with you guys because it is one of my favorites, and I have used it a couple times to write my own poetry, and I even introduced it at a workshop before. And it's very simple. It's all about creating your memory lane. But the reason why I love this prompt so much is because I really feel like it pushes the poet to get creative, to get imaginative in a way that I personally feel some prompts just can't do. And I feel like this is really good for poets who tend not to play around with a lot of imagery or sort of imaginative, very fantasy-like themes or metaphors in their work. So I'm going to start off with the brainstorming process, and I'm going to introduce to you guys some of the brainstorming questions that I used when I was writing this poem, and also when I introduced this poem at a workshop. These brainstorming questions are very simple, but I really highly recommend that you don't skip them, and also that you write out your answers to these questions. Don't just keep them in your mind. The reason why is because you want to really push yourself to get detailed with this prompt, to get very specific so that you can really evoke beautiful, vivid, colorful imagery in your final product. So the brainstorming questions are as followed. Where is your memory lane located? What does it look like? What is the basic layout of your memory lane? What does it sound like? What does it taste like? What does it feel like? Are there any memories or people in your memory lane that stick out more than others? And are there any memories or people in your memory lane that are a little bit more hidden than others? And if you would like, if you feel comfortable, you can answer the question, why is that? Explain. So those are the brainstorming questions that I used when I was going through this. If any other questions come up to mind while you're doing your brainstorming process, also feel free to answer those questions. The more specific, the more detailed, the better. I feel like you're going to be very happy with your poem afterwards when you see how vivid it really comes out to be, when you can really feel like you can just step in to this memory lane. And that's kind of the point. You know, you want to have a poem where you feel like you can actually step into this world that you have written and created and laid out for yourself or even for a reader. And now I'm going to read an excerpt from the first poem I ever wrote using this prompt, and this is in the second stanza. And I kind of wanted to just give you an example of how detailed, how specific you want to get. So it goes. Every hallway is an intersection, with a number on the wall to my right, marking an age of my life. And for the first 13 intersections, there was only one door to walk through. And if there was any other doors, I couldn't see them when all the smoke was jading my view. So that is how detailed, how specific you want to get. In some of my other poems that I write, I don't get like as nitpicky as I get in this poem. For example, with a number on the wall to my right, I'm getting very specific here. And if anything, I feel like I can get even more specific in that stanza. But I add on with more details in the rest of the poem, just laying out how the whole entire memory lane looks like, but also how specific areas look, as I said. And for the first 13 intersections, there was only one door to walk through, right? So I'm making a distinction between the first 13 hallways and doors you have to go through, and then the next 5 hallways and doors that you have to go through, reaching up to the 18th intersection, for example. So I really hope that you guys enjoy playing around with this prompt as much as I have. I hope that you use this prompt to write several poems. I hope that you come up with some really vivid, very creative poetry where you feel like you can kind of just step into this story, step into this land of yours that you have created. And I would absolutely love if you feel comfortable to read your work for myself. And if you do feel comfortable sharing, feel free to email me at abobadilla2002@gmail.com. That's ABOBADILLA 2002@gmail.com, all lowercase. Happy writing.